What's up, people? It's your boy, MM2K. In the squeaky chair, I'm up in the lab doing some stuff, man. We kicked off PNTS Network.com, the new site, man. Having a lot of fun, just throwing some articles out there. And we got some stuff coming from other contributors. Also want to give a shout out to Cloud Gaming Dad, Lukey6, and the Homie Collins Dynasty for being our first Stadia Dosage partner program members. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to be streaming on Stadia Dosage News, doing some great stuff, putting some great content out there. And like I said, we got other articles out there that are coming from contributors. Shout out to Jack Deslip. He got his own independent article within the publication. It's going to be great stuff because Jack always is putting out great thought-provoking stuff. I put it out there. It's a piece that he had wrote earlier, but it's so great. It's like timeless. And we got more people coming on. So, this is just going to be a multitude of great content across the board with a heavy focus on cloud gaming. You know what I mean? But we're not forgetting console and PC gaming. We're going to be covering those as well. As a matter of fact, we got some Xbox codes that we're giving out. So if you want codes for Xbox, what you're going to want to do is go to PNTSnetwork.com, scroll to the bottom, go ahead and, leave us a yappa. That's a voice or video and voice message. And anybody that leaves us a yappa, as long as it's game related or related to the site, you will become eligible for our giveaways for these codes. We got we got so many of them. Shout out to John Scar. He donated these codes a while ago, and we were going to give them out a while ago. However, we couldn't because the site wasn't ready yet, but these are great. These are some great games, indies, AAA, all that other stuff. With that being said, now that I'm past that, I wanted to share this with you guys, and I hope my good friend Mike doesn't mind, because even though I don't agree with his assessment here, I think his comment is a good one. I always appreciate when Mike comes through Stadia Dosage News and leaves his comments, even when I don't agree. You know what I'm saying? I think it leads to fruitful discussions. I love these discussions. So Mike says here, I would respectfully disagree with you in regards to, I think, the last open mic that I had. He said, I respectfully disagree with you regarding Stadia being in competition with physical consoles. And so what he's saying here is, I always say that they're not in competition with Xbox, PlayStation, and premier platforms. They're a cloud gaming platform, a 1% business. Their competition right now in the short term is GFN, Luna, all that other stuff. But it's all early. Even though they're competing with each other, it's all early. There's not really too much one can do to the other because they're all just in building phases right now. But that's their core competition at the moment. He disagrees with that. He continues to say, if you were to buy an electric car that only had a range of 100 miles, but the petrol equivalent could do 300, would you be able to say, oh, it's okay, I'll buy the e-car as it's not a fair competition? My point being, it doesn't matter if it's fair or not. Gamers don't care what's fair. Stadia has to step up. That's just how it is. So here's the problem with that analysis. And I respond to it below. I said false equivalence. If I go into a vegan shop and I get vegan ribs, and I'm looking for a 1v1 match for the best ribs in the county. Am I looking for a 1v1 match for the best ribs in the county? No. I'm looking for something that has a smoky, tasty rib presence minus a few norms. That's cloud gaming at the moment. Anyone expecting a full Daddy device experience this early in the game is like a meat eater walking into a vegan shop looking to be wild. So what am I saying? And look, even shout out to Mashable. They had an article the other day about this. Fantastic article where they said, look, there was a lot of people that are your atypical hardcore gamer, Daddy device gamer, that was interested in what was being said about Stadia. So they came over thinking they were going to get that full experience in the cloud, and they realized that wasn't the case. Some were disgruntled, some just left and said, nah, this ain't for me now, whatever the case may be, whatever it is or whatever it is. However, even Mashable said that Stadia is for cloud gaming early adopters. That's a completely total different demographic than the people that have an expectancy with PlayStation and Xbox. The people with PlayStation and Xbox expect all of the games, once they're advertised, with all the with all the fidelity and bells and whistles, you know what I'm saying, present in their latest iterations. Early cloud gaming adopters are people that can't afford that experience, or that experience is too inconvenient for them. So whatever the case may be, whatever the wall is between them and that experience, they'd rather have the convenience, the portability, the no downloads, the low cost of entry that cloud gaming presents. There are two totally different markets right now. One has a low ceiling of 1%. The other one is the other 99, 95%, whatever the case may be. All right. Right now, everything that's happening in the 1% business is to subsidize their growth so one day they can be part of the 99% business. But that takes trust with gamers, and gamers getting used to the fact of fully trusting DRM and all that, and that's going to take time. So again, we got to understand that we're making false equivalencies when we try to put steady device gaming versus cloud gaming. Yes, you're going to have people that do so, but they do so erroneously. I am in the camp that when you're miseducated, I don't continue your miseducation. We must enlighten you so you can get on the right path and know what you're talking about. And these are the same people who said, no, digital distribution won't work. It's going to go because physical copies give you more value because you get it in your hand, and digital distribution you can't trade in. And several years later, look what's starting to dominate: digital distribution. So again, a lot of people don't know how to get ahead of the curve. They can't separate the forest from the trees, or they can't get past the first 5 minutes of now. So they want to make these comparisons of now. Cloud gaming is a long-term thing. You got to be able to see past the first 5 minutes to now. And if people are ill-advised in their approach to cloud gaming versus steady device gaming, I am not going to double down and feed them more quote-unquote ignorance. But with that said, it's still an interesting discussion to have. I just had it behind the scenes in the DM with a good friend of mine. I know he felt like I was getting snippy with him, but I'm like, come on, bro. Like, we can't be this ill-advised about this stuff. We got to grow in our knowledge base. But with that said, I appreciate the discussion. Shout out to everybody. Thank you so much for checking this out. And until next time, have a wonderful gaming day. Peace.